Back again on more disturbing truth. Now I've been talking about this shit forever. Maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I've been doing videos on the so-called paperless money. Yes, so-called cryptocurrency gonna take over for money. And a lot of people don't believe me. Just like they give you with the music streaming, and now they give you the so-called movie and TV shows. You understand? Everything gone virtual and you can see it. You understand? And if you go virtual with the music, you never own it. You only get it to play. Same thing with movies and TV shows. Even if you pay for it, now it's the same thing they're gonna give you with the cash. Now the government can control your cash that you have with just a switch, and also get to see every transaction that the beans make. Let's get into this right here and break it down. Let's go.
What do you always carry with you? Your smartphone, keys, and some cash? Or keys, smartphone, and credit card? Germans are increasingly split on this one. Cash was long king here. But more
And a lot of people gonna look at this like, okay, that's Germany, that's not where I live, that's not my country. But what you have to understand, it's a worldwide thing. It's gonna happen all over the world. It's to watch the masses. Any transaction you make, you go have to do it virtually. And when you do it virtual, the government can see and have access to that data. Don't doubt when I tell you.
and more people are switching to credit and debit cards, in part
Everything
due
easy.
to the coronavirus crisis. By
You
card.
hear what they say due to the coronavirus crisis, and a lot of places are already in America that don't accept cash since the fake virus coming. Let's watch.
Contactless. By card.
I'm someone who prefers cash because it gives me a better idea of how much I'm spending. But COVID-19 has changed that. Now I pay
There
with
you go.
plastic. You have
Why you think they give you the Bitcoin, people? We go get into that in a minute, but I've been showing you that the cryptocurrency gonna take over. And don't worry about the Bitcoin. It's not gonna be the leader in the so-called cryptocurrency. You better wake up. They're gonna knock that off with the US currency virtual. Watch.
to ask yourself, why do people want to abolish cash?
Some banks have turned their backs on cash completely. They don't have any brick-and-mortar branches or ATMs.
There you go.
Cashless payments are on the rise. But experts warn we're paying with our data.
Visa, MasterCard, or Axiom, Google, Facebook, Twitter interfaces, that's surveillance capitalism.
You hear that, people? Surveillance. You're not getting it, people. This is how they keep an eye on the masses. Why you think they got Cash App and all those apps that you can exchange money on is to see every transaction you make.
Cash is competing with electronic payment systems. Could it get knocked out of the ring? A former head of Interpol says it would be risky to abolish cash completely.
What happens if Russians, Putin, or somebody else
See?
switches off the system?
You understand that, people? You hear what he just say? But they're leading you to the dumb shit, telling you that maybe another country mad at one country and hack into their system and turn off their cash. No, people. They're doing it so they can turn off your cash, the regular people. Remember, all the banking money system is all one. And I told you, once you see them get into the currency business and mixing it up with money, you know 100% it's the same government people, the same ones that print money, changing over right now for the new world order. This is the time.
We have no defense.
The coronavirus pandemic has
There you
boosted
go.
cashless
There you
payments.
go.
Who's profiting? And what price are we paying?
COVID killed cash.
A life without bills and coins. What might that be like? In Scandinavia, it's already a reality. I decide to take the ferry, hire a car, and go and find out. It seems safer to me than flying in light of the coronavirus pandemic.
Wow.
In Denmark, Finland,
And what you have to understand, people, they use that virus to change everything that you know. The people just not seeing. How can you be so blind? They change everything right before your eyes in the name of a virus. And I already told you that's the only thing they could have used to get to all of these agenda that they have on the table. You get it?
Norway, and here in Sweden in particular, cash has practically become a thing of the past.
There you go.
The first thing that I do after arriving is go in search of an ATM. In Sweden, that's not so easy.
Wow.
They're few and far between.
You hear that, people? In Sweden, it's hard to find an ATM machine. I already told you. Don't worry about it. They're gonna do it. It's nice and slow, but it's coming and it's right here. You're gonna see it.
Then when I go to the newsagents to buy some water and peppermints, I'm told I have to pay by card.
There you go.
I'm going to meet Till, a German who's been living in Sweden for many years and who works at the university. He can't quite remember the last time he actually held a banknote in his hand.
Wow.
Social distancing has become a habit for me, but my attempts don't really work here. At the moment, few people in Stockholm are wearing face masks either. We're going to Till's favorite bakery, which has everything, apart from a cash till. What shall we buy?
I'd recommend Bula. They're good here.
What are they?
They're cinnamon buns made with cardamom. I can really recommend them.
So basically anything you want right there is nothing called cash around. You understand? Anything you want, you have to buy it with virtual money. That means even if you know somebody and you go do some kind of transaction with them, you have to do it on data. Basically transfer the money wirelessly and then the government have a hold on you. You hear me? Move.
Cash is king. But in a socially distant world where payment
The
is
only reason why you say cash is king because it's the devil people created. That's all it is, the control of mankind. And I already told you, 85 or more % of the crime that committed against mankind is because of money. You understand? Robbery, every damn thing. Somebody running your house, all because of money. That's just what it is, people. It's the destruction of mankind. Now they're going virtual.
easy as...
There you go.
Does cash still hold the same value?
Cash is still relevant, but cash is no longer king.
There you go.
Although people in this country and around the world do continue to use cash to purchase things every day, that is decreasing.
Electronic
It's
payments
decreasing.
have cannibalized checks. Card payments have grown. But cash has remained king. 2/3 of transactions under $10 are done in cash.
Although
That's gonna change soon. Don't worry about it. They're gonna change over the whole system. That's what they're doing with all those so-called virtual money. Everybody coming with a virtual money. You never get it. Facebook and also Apple involved in it. You see, Apple already have Apple Pay, Google Pay, and them. That's their so-called currency. Just wake up on it.
surrounding COVID's impact on cash has yet to be reported. The pandemic is expected to cause a drastic decline in cash usage due to the risk of contamination.
It's bullshit, people. It's bullshit. And don't worry about it. They're gonna blame it on the money. So that's why the virus is passing around, because money hand in hand or hand to hand cause the virus to spread. That's how they do it, people. This is how they pull off the New World Order. Change up everything in front of your face without you
Unprecedented
knowing.
surge in the demand for contactless payment has also shown outstanding performances from major companies
There you
offering
go.
cashless payment
There you
methods
go.
like Apple, Square, and
There you
PayPal.
go. There you go, people. And I already told the masses about Apple and even that PayPal right there. Don't worry about the Square. They're all the same. Don't worry about it. They're all the same people running this game and the masses. Everything controlled by the same banking system, no matter what they call it. Even if a phone company like Apple is the same government people.
Seeing digital payments in this crisis.
Yeah, they can
move
turn
from
off your
being
money.
a nice-to-have capability to a must-have essential service.
Yes, because everybody like things easy in life, and I keep telling you, it's not good to want everything easy at your fingertips. That's more control on the masses. You better understand, the more you want freedom, the more you so-called want peace, you want shit easy, yes, it's gonna cost you. You understand? You're putting out all your information right there because you wanna be protected by the government. Are you kidding me? It's them that releasing your damn information where you don't want it. They're the one who's stealing your info, not a regular person.
Whether it is credit or debit or prepaid cards or peer-to-peer services like PayPal or Venmo or others, we're seeing a corresponding
Yes, it's
increase in
going
digital
down.
transactions as we're seeing a decrease in the use of cash.
There you go.
So could COVID signal the end of cash in the United States? And can the U.S. really function without physical currency? Nearly a third of U.S. adults say they make no purchases using cash during a typical week.
There you go.
The share of people who say that all or almost all of their weekly purchases are made by cash dropped from 24% in 2015 to 18% in 2018.
According.
In 2019, the Federal Reserve found that most cashless methods of transaction.
Pay attention. They mention the Federal Reserve. What I tell you about them, they're the one who here to protect the money. You understand? The money come from the elites to them. You never get it. The deficits that America deep in, 23 trillion, it come from the World Bank to the so-called Federal Reserve, and they're the one who distribute it to the people. And you see Joe Biden talking about $1.9 trillion again, put you in deeper hole with the damn elites. You never understand. The more money they take is the more control they have of the people. You never understand why you think the America is so strict. Because they're down 23 trillion. That means the government, the world government got more eyes on them, more hands on them. They have more control. That's why I told you, no president was elected. They are selected.
Including debit cards and mobile payments, increased in the past 2 years compared to cash and check payments, which showed a decrease in the same time period.
I never carry around cash, so I use Apple Pay at the bodegas, for example.
It's the same damn thing they're telling you. You understand? Yes, they use Apple Pay and all those new products that come in offering the so-called wireless cash. You understand me? Just pay attention.
When I'm getting groceries for most of my purchases, I don't use that necessarily for like electricity bills, for dinner bills. That's when I would use Venmo or Cash App.
Despite the rise in electronic methods of payment, experts say that cash isn't a force to be reckoned with.
There's a false narrative that Americans are using cash less now than ever before. In point of fact, cash in circulation continues to grow strongly. What you've seen happen are electronic forms of payment taking other electronic forms of payment or checks.
Well, what you gotta understand, people, a lot of banks in America, if, say for instance, you finance a house or something to them and you say, okay, let me just go down to the bank and pay them cash, they're not gonna accept it. You understand? You have to either write them a check or give them a wireless payment. You understand? You better wake up. This is how they're doing it, prepping you up for the new world order. And I told you, nothing happens before the time. They got everything scripted. They know what time they need to bring in certain system. And this is the time, the new world order. And I told you already, people, this is where they're going to turn over everything right in front of your eyes. Even the damn cash. Bam.
In 1694, the Bank of England became the first public bank to regularly issue banknotes as an alternative to coins as a means of payment. 3 centuries later, it's primarily tasked with maintaining price stability, much like any other central bank across the world. But these cautious institutions are now buzzing with talk of a revolutionary concept, a form of money you cannot see. Central bank digital currencies.
And I told you, people, it's not good. Now the whole central bank coming up with a digital currency. You see what I tell you, people? This is what's gonna take over the world. And only one reason why they're doing it is more control of the masses, more surveillance, more digital money. Mean that you've been watched. How much? You know somebody right there when you want to give them a $10 bill, you have to do it virtually. Why? Because now they're going to see what you're doing, who you give the money to and everything. That means you can't lie to the government about shit. You understand? You can't lie about your money transaction again. You can't hide in your tax returns and nothing. You got to understand, people. When they track every dollar you spend, that's problem for you. You never understand. Now the government can see everything you do, every dollar you spend. That's not good.
When you ask central banks around the world whether they are exploring CBDC, 1 year ago the answer was 80% of them were exploring, and now it's nearly 90%.
Wow.
Last year, 40% were experimenting, and now it's 60%. The vast majority of central banks are exploring CBDC.
The idea of digital money is not new. Many of us use debit and credit cards or payment apps for transactions.
They keep using that as an example, but that's not what it's about, people. You gotta understand, it's about turning off your damn money, and the paper money gotta be gone. Now, if you understand, people, they could have the cash still and they do whatever they got going on, but they got to remove the cash so they can identify every fucking transaction that you do. You never understand. With the cash, they can't tell how much money you spend when you use cash. They can't tell. And the money don't attach to a name when you use cash. Wow, you don't get it. Once the money go virtual, every single dollar spent, they can know about it. Yes.
But what would make a central bank digital currency different?
Let's see.
One of the big financial developments over the last few years has been the rise in popularity of cryptocurrency.
And I told you people, this Bitcoin right here, they're gonna knock it off. I already told you people. You know why? A lot of regular people take it up and run. Yes, and they so-called make money off it. But what you have to understand, this is not the one gonna stand, people. You never understand. Just like when you see they come out with that social media network, what was that called? MySpace. It's there, going good and everything, and then bam, they bring in the Facebook and you never hear about the MySpace again. It's not like you was there competing with it for a year or so. No, it just disappear. This is the same thing gonna happen to this Bitcoin when they bring in the US currency and every currency, central currency and all of that, all digital money. The Bitcoin gonna take a hit. Just remember, I tell you.
With one in particular, Bitcoin, standing out. Following Tesla's announcement that it bought $1.5 billion
you see
worth
that?
of Bitcoin.
Bam. This is how they fool you. You never understand, people. It's the same shit they give you with the puppets. So Elon must tell you $1.5 billion worth of stock in Bitcoin and you jump on it and start buying it. It's their puppet. The same people who give you Bitcoin. The same shit they give you with the BitTruth. You never understand the BIT right there. The same thing. Bitcoin, BitTruth. They're full of shit. You hear me? All government run. 100% in.
In February 2021, the volatile cryptocurrency's price surged to new highs, giving it a theoretical market capitalization that is even larger than the world's two largest payments processing companies.
You hear that, people? Yes, the Bitcoin gone. Yes, almost 50 grand per coin. But guess what you're doing? You're buying a coin for 50 grand and you can't see it? This is dumb right here. They only can give you a logo because they don't have a coin. So you're buying a coin that you can't see. This is dumb. Virtual money is not good for the masses. And I told you, if they turn that shit off, what you gonna do? It's only a switch, control it.
Visa and MasterCard.
There you go.
Unlike traditional money, cryptocurrencies are not issued by a central bank, but rather via a decentralized network of computers, typically using blockchain technology.
You hear that?
Even Facebook is trying to get...
There you go, people. And I already told you who this guy is. It's a government front. They have to put him on to make you buy into the Facebook. You wouldn't go buy into it. You wouldn't go post certain shit on it if they tell you it's the government on it, the CIA. You wouldn't go post shit on it. You know how much millions of people go to jail by posting shit on Instagram and Facebook? You can't do that if you tell them it's the government on it. Somebody would never post something that they just steal. They steal a watch, they post it on it. You post up there with gun, you would never do it if you know it's the CIA on it. So they give you a regular guy, tell you he created in his dorm room, just a satanic puppet. You don't even know if it's a real person. You never understand. It's just a trickery for the dumb people. Don't buy into it. It's a government-run shit.
Act with the 2019 announcement that it would develop its own digital currency, known at the time as Libra, and now rebadged as
Libra. Wow, like the scale. Okay.
And so at that point, central bankers started to realize that they were really under some threat. And the question became, if we can't beat them, do we join them?
Wow,
investors in Bitcoin believe that because
it's one government operation, you understand? But if you can't beat them, you join them. It's bullshit.
It's a theoretical cap on the number of Bitcoins that can ever be mined. The cryptocurrency
You hear that, people? They say mined. I break down that and show you with the so-called mining company in China that so-called making the Bitcoin. We go get to a part of that in a minute. But pay attention right here. They actually mine the coins and it's not real. It's not an actual coin. Or they mined it. It's bullshit. Just like they tell you they mine gold and diamond. Not a fakery again.
Increasingly valuable at a time when central banks have been printing more money than ever before to arrest the economic fallout from the pandemic. That's why people sometimes
There you go, people. Look at the Bitcoin. They show you this on TV, but if you buy it, you never get it. You never see it, people. They tell you, oh, you buy 3. Okay, we put it in. Where is the coin? You're never gonna see it. That's why they call it virtual money. This is bullshit right here. Why would you buy a fucking coin for 50 grand? This coin right here made out of what? What it made out of? Is it different from a penny? What it made from? It's not an actual coin. You're dumb as stone.
Digital gold. Many
Digital
central banks are
gold.
worried that the widespread adoption of these
digital gold. You see what I tell you? The same thing they give you with gold. It's not what they tell you it is. You understand? They never mine gold out of fucking dig out the rocks and find gold. You understand? It's fakery. 100%
and cryptocurrencies could weaken their control over the financial system. This could cause financial...
Watch the hand sign show you that they're full of shit. Lying to the masses. It's all about deception when you see they do the permit and the hand sign.
Stability, especially because cryptocurrencies do not have the legal or the regulatory safeguards that...
You hear that, people? You hear that? That's why I tell you, if you have the Bitcoin, I don't give a fuck. If you bought it from it was $5 or $10, you understand? And now it's 50 grand. They're gonna hit you where it hurt. You're gonna lose your money. You hear what this person tell you? Go back again.
Financial instability, especially because cryptocurrencies do not have the legal or the regulatory safeguards that central bank money does.
You hear that? That's why they're gonna take a hit. Just like they give you the Texas freeze the other day and the current go out, they turn off the lights and then they tell you, look man, these other people that owning it, we have to basically pay them more money to run those so-called generators. So what they have to do, charge you more money. This is how they do it, people. And they tell you that the Texas grid don't have regulation from the federal government. So that's why they can go up on the price. You understand me? So what I tell you, when they tell you that it's not regulated by them, they're gonna hit it, make it take a hit, and then they're gonna bring in the next one that's gonna take over.
So why not issue a digital currency of their own?
There you go.
Currently, regular bank deposits, cash, and cryptocurrencies issued by the private sector, such as Diem and Bitcoin, all have a few features that make them useful. But the hope is that publicly available CBDCs would have all these desirable characteristics. Unlike your savings in a commercial bank, which rely on the bank's promise to fulfill, CBDCs are recognized by law and backed by the power.
You see how they do this right here, people? That's why I don't understand how the people can get it. They are the central bank right here. They got their own cryptocurrency coming, but pay attention. They pump money in this so-called bank. But what you have to understand, people, is the same virtual money they give you. You never get it. You're buying a house that's on foreclosure. Foreclosure meaning that is the bank own it. So when you're going to borrow the money from one bank over here to pay this bank over here, what that tell you? They never exchange $1. Just virtual. All virtual. You understand? Okay, they put it on paper. Okay, you got that $500,000 to buy that house, but you never present $1. They never give you one paper money, not even $1. But guess what? You have to pay back in money, real money. But this is how they do it. One bank send the number to this bank. You understand me? They don't exchange no money for real. That's what you need to know.
The central bank, which cannot go bankrupt. For example, if a commercial bank collapses, part of your savings could potentially be wiped out.
You hear that? And no bank actually fall. They're the one who just remove it, go bankrupt. Are you dumb or what? How the bank gonna go bankrupt? They take your money and lend it out for interest, and your money sitting there. Some of y'all have to pay to even keep your money in the bank. And after you keep that money in the bank, they take it and lend it to somebody else with interest. How can the bank go bankrupt? I already told you. The reason why they go bankrupt is to get your money. There you go. You see that? You lose when they go bankrupt. The same thing I tell you when you buy stock in those fucking government companies. All they go do is just put out a rumor about it, bam, and the stock drop. Who lose? You. The company is still open. You got it? So this bank go bankrupt right here, and then guess what? You see the bank with this name. Say for instance, this is a Chase. The Chase go down tomorrow, it pop up in a Wells Fargo. That's just how it is. The same fucking place. They never even have the mind to change the place. They just change the damn name. I told you that's how it is because all the banking system connect to one.
But this wouldn't be the case for CBDCs, which could be as trusted as cash, as convenient as a payment app, yet also benefit from the same blockchain technology which underpins cryptocurrencies.
Wow.
And just like cash, CBDCs could be distributed through commercial banks, avoiding too much disruption to the financial system, or the central bank having to deal directly with many millions of citizens and businesses.
Wow.
Think of banknotes, which are the closest equivalent to central bank digital currencies that we have today, except that they're on paper, of course. This is
Yes,
money
on
that is
paper.
issued by the central bank.
They just give you a paper with the number on it, and I keep using this as an example. Say for instance, an American dollar, you're in Vietnam with a US dollar, it value over $2,000 for $1 US. It costs 2,000 Vietnamese dollar to buy $1 American dollar. What that tell you, people, is just a paper with numbers on it, and the rank of your country rank the money. You understand? Yes, just look at the value of the money and you can tell the ranking of the country. That's how they do it, people.
And used daily in retail payments. So the central bank sells banknotes to commercial banks, and then the commercial banks distribute banknotes through ATMs to their clients.
This means that everyone could have access to this digital currency, which could bring a lot of benefits.
Listen.
It could make payments faster, allowing for immediate settlements and no processing
You
delays.
hear that, people? All about speed. Yes, everything done at lightning speed and less work. That's how they get you in the new world order. Everything is easy, but it's a destruction of mankind.
And it could also make payments cheaper. In the US,
Watch
the
this.
aggregate cost of making retail payments ranges from 0.5% to 0.9% of GDP. Digital currencies would reduce those costs. It also means that more people could have access to electronic payments.
You see that?
Currently, over 1.5 billion
There you
adults
go.
across the globe
There you
don't
go.
have access to the financial system. And even in an advanced economy such as the US, more than 6% of Americans don't have a bank account.
And don't worry about it when they hit you with that vaccine, which is a liquid chip. Don't worry about it. They're gonna store every fucking thing about you in a cloud. And of course, even the money that you have, what you value and everything. And they're gonna be able to control your financing by using a switch. No doubt about it.
Digital currencies could also make it easier for governments to deliver stimulus checks or
You
even
hear
go
that? Stimulus checks. That's what you worry about? You never understand, people. The stimulus is to stimulate your damn brain. Let you take your mind off what they're really doing.
further and make targeted payments to those deemed most in need. So how soon could central bank digital currencies become a reality? China is the major economy
Watch this.
which is
Pay
most
attention.
advanced in its CBDC
You
development.
hear that? China always the most advanced in anywhere you direction you're going, but it's still just a third world country. Ain't that some dumb shit, people? Wow, communist country and everything, and they always ahead. The 5Gs, them own it. They're trying to get 5G all over the world. They have to go to China. Look at the so-called digital currency. China is also the leader. Wow, I already told you, people, this is how they do
People's
it.
Bank of China has been running tests of its digital
There you
currency
go.
since April 2020 with the help of 4 banks in the country. Tens of thousands of consumers
There you
have
go.
already been involved with the pilot, spending
you
2
go.
billion yuan in over 4 million transactions. For China, it could also be a means of reasserting control over a financial system challenged by the rapid growth of fintech companies.
Ant Pay and WeChat. I mean, these are the dominant payment technologies in China, and they are in the hands of Alibaba and Tencent.
You hear that, people? They have a company called Alibaba, like Alibaba and the 40 fucking thieves. This is how they do it right here to rob the damn people. You're buying to them?
If Beijing can wrest that back, then I think they will. And the way that they've set up the e-yuan is that it will still be effectively very integrated with the commercial banks, but it is effectively a direct challenge to the payment technologies. They are trying to ultimately displace them. The e-yuan is going to have its own digital wallet at the commercial bank, and over time, people will probably just find it more convenient to use that, and thereby
All about convenience in the new world order. They're making shit easier for you to buy it. Okay, all right.
displacing Ant Pay, for example.
There may also be a geopolitical consideration for China, providing a mechanism to shift away from using the US dollar.
There's no doubt that Beijing views the US dollar as a strategic advantage that the US has. The problem is that most of the trade, the real world trade, is denominated and invoiced in US dollars, right? And China sees this, and it's very hard for them to sort of push RMB into the global financial system, the global trading system.
Every direction you go into towards new technology and everything, yes, China is at the forefront of it. Wow.
This is a Bitcoin mine hidden deep in the mountains of Sichuan in China.
You see what a Bitcoin mine look like, people? All wires like they give you in the Space Center. You can't trust them, people. What the fuck is they mining right here? This is bullshit right here, people. Don't believe it. It's nothing but trash. You think you can have all these wires and you can know what they're good for? You better wake your ass up. Look at this shit right here, people. You believe it? I told you the same thing they give you in space. Wires all hanging all over the place. It's bullshit.
This is a Bitcoin mine hidden deep in the mountains of Sichuan in China.
You see? Always China.
And its rival is on the other side of the planet, at a former factory that used to make denim for Levi's.
You see the trans-
Wow, used to make denim for Levi's. Now it's a factory making Bitcoins.
Lined up on the outside. We have a lot of megawatts.
These two miners make money by providing the massive computing power that's required to process and record a high volume of cryptocurrency transactions.
Wow.
Business was soaring as Bitcoin hit new highs in early 2021.
Look at this shit right here, people. Almost 50 grand is hot right there. Told you. 48 grand is hot right now, people. Look at this. Look where it come from, people. Wow, I told you, man. Don't trust in these shits right here. It's government trick for the people. Don't buy
It's hard
it.
to sleep. You go to bed at night and you wake up and you look and you go, holy crap, it's still up.
You see?
Last year, China controlled 70% of the
Watch
global
this.
processing power that runs the
Wow.
Bitcoin network.
Oh, China, I don't understand, people. Oh, China get to be so deep into this Bitcoin right here. They're the one who come out with it? 75%.
Global processing power that runs
Wow,
the Bitcoin
the rest
network.
of the world.
And that means the majority of the cryptocurrency's global transactions are routed through these computers in China and recorded by miners
Wow.
here.
Look at this shit right here.
So a group of
Wow.
US miners is raising hundreds of millions of dollars to win a larger share of Bitcoin's processing power.
Wow, so they're raising money to own a bigger part of the processing power because they basically say China controls 75% of it. This is how they do, you people. Why China is in every fucking thing. Wow, I told you people, they're the one who's showing you the way to the new world order. It's easy to implement it and the people, they follow instructions good. So they start everything there, even the fucking fake virus. Bam.
When capitalism in the States decides it wants to get into a market, get into an industry, it moves heavy capital there.
They say their work is also meant to protect Bitcoin. Industry insiders say the
Wow.
Chinese government has
Look
already
at this
cracked
shit
down
right
on
here, people.
industry.
Pay attention. This is what they say they use to mine the Bitcoin. A piece of a fan, people. Wow, I told you. Everything that looks strange to you, you buy it and run of what they say. It's bullshit. It's not real.
Insiders say the
But you're
Chinese government
mining
has already
coins.
cracked down on some crypto entrepreneurs
See?
and could potentially
See?
disrupt global
Look at this
trading
shit.
by asking miners in China to block certain users from making
Wow,
transactions.
there you go, people.
It's better for
And
crypto.
once they tell you that China got some kind of access to this shit right here, they're gonna tell you that China manipulating it. That's just how it is.
Currency to be spread around the globe. So that Bitcoin cannot be manipulated by any single government.
See?
I think there will be competition. It's more and more human resources.
It's no competition. They're all the same, people. They're running the mind game on the people. These are the people on the world stage brainwashing you. This is bullshit they're showing you about mining cryptocurrency with these fans plug up on all these wires. Bullshit on.
resources that we're putting into this particular new segment.
The battle over Bitcoin mining will decide
Yeah.
who controls
You
the
hear that?
infrastructure that powers the cryptocurrency.
You hear that? The infrastructure that power the cryptocurrency. So when this go out, poof, your money gone. That's why they're showing you this right here, people. Because I tell you, it's coming. The destruction of the Bitcoin is coming. You never get it.
它是一个这个水源，它是木头，然后它是用那个齿轮的那个散热。
Yu Long Liu started mining during the previous
Look at this
Bitcoin
shit.
rally in 2017.
It's
And this is
bullshit,
one of the
people.
sites he
Look at
works
this
with
shit.
that has mined
Wow.
about
How do you mine? I don't get it, man. How can you mine coins right here? What is these? What is these wire represent? And nobody that makes something that makes sense not gonna have all these wires hanging, people. You ever see wire without loom? They loomed up. Why would these wires just hanging? This is bull crap right here.
1,000 Bitcoins over the
Move.
past 3 years, generating about $28 million in revenue over that time period. Miners need cheap electricity, which is abundant in some parts of China,
There you
thanks
go.
to dams and coal power plants that were built by the state in the past decade. That electricity then powers fast machines that are necessary to solve mathematical problems in order to eventually mint new coins.
Wow.
China is home to the vast majority of mining equipment production, and so miners like Liu always have speedy access to the best technology,
Wow,
like this
how?
cooling system.
Wow.
这是不一样，风了。
Cool.
Like this cooling system.
A cooling system for what? A cooling system for what? I told you, man. The people is retarded in this world. What is they cooling here? They're not actually making no damn coins. So what is this cooling system for? To cool what? The building? Okay. These are dumb people, man.
But the industry in China lives with uncertainty. Liu asked to keep the location of the site a secret because he says he's not sure if the government will crack down one day.
So keep the location of the site a secret. So you come from another country and go to China and they show you and they don't want the government to know about it, but they show you as a fucking reporter and tell you to keep it secret. Get the hell out of here. You serious or what? It's bullcrap. You believe that people are outside are coming and know about it, but the officials in China don't know about it. A place that is a so-called communist country and they know everything about everybody. Get out of here. It's crap. You get away with that shit.
While mining itself isn't illegal, virtual currency trading and crypto exchanges are banned in China.
You hear that?
Down one day. While mining itself isn't illegal, virtual currency trading and crypto exchanges are banned in China because they're seen as risky to the country's financial system.
You hear this?
In the past few months, Bitcoin industry insiders have said that Beijing accused some Chinese miners of money laundering and froze their credit cards.
What gonna happen? The Chinese government gonna come up with their own cryptocurrency for their money. That's what almost every country gonna do. The one world government already put it out. They have to follow the script. They got to go paperless money, all virtual currency, where they got control of the masses, see everything you do. Of course, that's what they
making
want.
It difficult for miners to pay operating costs. The Chinese government did not respond to a request for comment. So to help miners develop their business despite the risks, Liu offers loans so miners don't need to go through Chinese banks.
Wow.
His company Bobble Finance lends cryptocurrencies to about 300 miners, including the owners of this site.
So that they can purchase more equipment at a lower cost.
Wow.
And then maintaining the machine itself, including repairs.
You hear that? The machine gotta maintain, and even the so-called repairs. You believe them people? I told you. When anything happen to this plant right here, poof, there go your cash.
Cosmetics, groceries, a new phone, a year's worth of laundry detergent. Citizens of the Chinese city of Suzhou entered an official lottery to win up to 200 yuan, or roughly $30, from the government in order to spend it in any way they liked. But the money that the people won was not physical cash.
You hear that, people? Even though they just tell you that the currency, the virtual currency used in China is illegal because it's threatening their so-called economy and everything, and the Chinese government just send them some money, and the only way they can spend it if they spend it virtually. Wow, you see that right there? I already told you China is involved in the New World Order. They're leading the way.
Yuan, part of the Chinese government's ambitious plan to create one of the world's first state-backed digital currencies. Here's how the system works.
Watch this.
And the goals that China wants to pursue with it.
That's why I always tell the people, man. I always tell you, don't watch this right here. Pay attention.
In the last few weeks of 2020,
see, they keep scanning these barcodes. Don't scan them with your damn phone. You understand? That could hack your whole system. Wow.
The People's Bank of China rolled out a pilot program in the eastern Chinese city of Suzhou. They had to download an app and have it on the phone.
You see?
We spoke to one woman who used her 200 yuan to buy a year's worth of laundry detergent for her family, and she did that online at an online store.
You hear that? They only can shop with it virtual. This is how they do it, people. That's why you see all the so-called stimulus that they're handing out, they make sure they give the people with the virtual money first. You understand? The people that got a so-called wireless transfer set up. You understand? Because they not want to send no check out there. You feel me? This is how they're gonna do it. Switch it all over. They're gonna get rid of cash and go all virtual, even if they have to send you money to start it out.
She said it went very smoothly and it went just like regular digital payments.
See, there go your scanner.
There are two advantages, at least so far, that the People's Bank of China and other Chinese officials have touted for this new digital currency. One is that you don't need an internet connection to make these purchases.
You hear that? You hear that, people? You don't need an internet connection to do the transfer. Wow, there you go, people. So they're setting up a different airway for this shit to move on. You don't even need internet. There you go, people. So you want to see more? A lot of people say, oh, well, not everybody got a phone and not everybody got, they're going to find a way for you to have it. Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to have no access to no money. You never get it, people. You're just going to go virtual. And if you can't keep up, you're going to be left by the wayside.
You can't get good internet signals.
There you go. There you go. Watch what you got on the hat. Wow. Wow.
The other advantage is for merchants. Having the People's Bank of China itself managing this currency would cut out the middleman in a certain respect. China's actually already pretty advanced in this regard in that many people hardly use cash at all in their daily lives. They mostly pay for things through Alipay, which is owned by Ant Group. Or
you hear that? Alipay. Okay, that's the one they're using.
Things through Alipay, which is owned by Ant Group, or under WeChat Pay, which is owned by Tencent. So most people, like in Beijing,
Tencent and Alibaba is them.
I almost always pay with my phone right now with a QR code on my phone that comes up in WeChat or in Alipay that is then scanned. Our understanding is that what the People's Bank of China wants to do is quite similar, except that it wouldn't happen necessarily through Alipay or through WeChat Pay. It would happen through a separate app that the PBOC.
Hold on. Look at this app right here, people. You got the ribbon and you got the cross right there.
Through a separate app that the PBOC has created that would allow people to pay that way. Tencent and Ant declined to comment.
They declined to comment. I told you already, people, don't trust China. They're leading the way in the New World Order. As you can see, they got the star right there on the flag, just like America. Yes, they're leading the trail, taking the people through the New World Order, and watch the rest of the world follow suit. Yes, and there you go with your cash. Yes, it's gonna go virtual where they basically tag you and watch you every move you make. I'm gone.